We were discussing the different concepts of cost yesterday, and we are done with the explicit cost we have discussed yesterday. We have discussed implicit cost, and we have discussed economic cost. Okay, all these costs we have discussed. Few more concepts were left, few more concepts of cost that we have to discuss. It is your opportunity cost, then we have to discuss the concept of real cost, private cost, and your social cost. Okay, four concepts are still left. All right, first of all, we will discuss regarding opportunity cost, that what is opportunity cost. In your class 11th, you all must have we all have discussed regarding opportunity cost when we were discussing that chapter, that production possibility curve. All right, we have already done the meaning of opportunity cost, and I have already explained that what does it mean. We just have to revisit its meaning. All right, you all know that resources are limited in nature. Okay, they are scarce in nature, and those resources have alternate uses. That means those scarce resources can be put to various uses. Alright, it is not so that a particular resource can only be put for producing a particular product only. It can also be used in production of the other commodity also. That is why it is said that resources are scarce and they have alternative uses. Okay, due to that only, due to these two features of goods, these two features of resources only, your concept of opportunity cost arises. See what the producer has to do. Producer has to take decision that which product he has to produce. Alright, if he have all the available resources, and from that given available resources he can produce many of the products. For example, we take an example that with the given resources, a particular producer can produce 1 meter of cloth, or you can say 20 loaves of bread. That is the example given in your book, that with the given resources, if a producer can produce 1 meter cloth or 20 loaves of bread, I am saying or, whether he will produce 1 meter of cloth or he will produce 20 loaves of bread. Alright, so he has to choose. There is a problem of choice arising over here. So for instance, if the producer sees that producing cloth is more profitable, it is more easy for him, instead of producing 20 loaves of bread, and he invests all his resources in producing the cloth. Alright, then the opportunity cost of that cloth, we can calculate the opportunity cost of that cloth in relation to those 20 loaves of bread. That means the cost of 1 meter cloth, the cost of 1 meter cloth is equals to 20 loaves of bread. That means whatever goods a particular producer is sacrificing, or whatever good a particular producer is foregoing to produce a particular commodity, that cost is known as your opportunity cost. And according to your syllabus, you just have to do the meaning of opportunity cost and nothing else. So you should learn its definition that is mentioned in the book. Now coming on to the real cost. Alright, it is just a simple concept that in the course of production there are various problems, there are various disutilities, there are various pains that the factors of production has to go through. For example, the labor has to give his physical work. Okay, he has to work physically, he has to work mentally. Okay, and for example, your capital owner, he has to give his capital, or your land owner, he has to give the land owner. So there are certain costs that are included during the course of production, which lead to the discomfort. For example, if labor is working for more and more hours, he will be very he will be facing discomfort. Might be he gets hungry, or he sweats, or he gets ill due to that continuous working. So all these things, all the discomfort, all the disutility that the factors of production has to go through during the course of production, it is known as the real cost. It cannot be calculated. It is just an hypothetical concept. It cannot be calculated. Then coming to your private and social cost. These two types of cost are they are particularly very important. Many times the difference between the private and social cost has been asked in your exams, and examples also. I have told you that all the concepts of cost that we are discussing from yesterday, do the meaning with the help of the examples, even though it is not mentioned in the question that examples it is not mentioned in the question that you have to write the examples. Then to write the examples, it is very necessary. Alright, now coming on to private cost. Your private cost is nothing but whatever a particular producer has to incur in producing a commodity. That is your economic cost only. There is no difference between private and economic cost. Both costs are similar in nature. Alright, both costs are similar. Whatever expenditure a particular producer has to incur in producing commodities, okay, in supplying, that is your private cost. That cost incurred is your private cost. Now coming to social cost, you can call that it is a kind of a new concept, and it has generally taken place in economics after studying the various ill effects of economic activities on the society. We all know that the economic activities, the industrialization, urbanization, mass production, all these things also have negative impact on the society, have negative impact on the ecosystem and environment, and it sometimes deteriorates our environment and ecosystem. Alright. So what happens is that, for example, there is a particular industry, okay, and that particular industry in the course of production leads to much air pollution, and the people who are living nearby, due to that air pollution, they got lung infections, okay, some of them got asthma, okay, some of them got different diseases of lung, some have got lung cancer due to those emissions, due to those smoke emissions from those factories. Alright, so if a person gets any disease due to that smoke, will you go to that producer and say that due to this smoke, due to this your factory and industry, I have got lung cancer or I have got this particular disease? No, he will go to the doctor instead. He will go to the doctor instead, and he will diagnose his disease, and he has to spend on his disease and all. So what I am trying to say is that your economic activities also lead to health hazards on the societies. Okay, and for the correction of these health hazards, the public has to spend money from his or her pocket. The public does not goes to that particular industry. The public has to go to the doctor or the hospital. So the production has negative impact, negative health hazards on the public, and due to those health hazards, the cost that the particular person has to bear, that is known as your external cost. That is known as your external cost. Thus, your social cost is equals to the private cost plus external cost. So you can say that your social cost is equals to your private plus external cost. Alright, so it is very important you should learn the meanings with the help of examples. Recently I have read in the newspaper that you all must be knowing that Lucknow is one of the most polluted cities in India, and it comes under top 5, I think, top 5 most polluted cities of the world. Lucknow is under top 5 most polluted cities of the world. And many of the researchers, they have done the research, and they have concluded that due to this pollution, due to this air pollution, the life of the people. All right, the you can say that is called your, what it is called, that a particular year, how many years a particular person can live, what it is called, you all must have learnt it in lifespan, you can call it, that the lifespan of a person has reduced by 10 years. That means if a person who is residing in Lucknow, okay, अगर उसे 80 साल पे मरना चाहिए था, वो 70 साल पे मर जाएगा. So it has impacted so much. The level of pollution of Lucknow has impacted the life of the public so much that the average life of 10 years, the life expectancy, that is called life expectancy of the Lucknow people, have been reduced by 10 years, and 10 years are much. Even a 1 year of life is much. So you can imagine that of what level and of what degree the economic activities, of what degree health hazards these economic activities, industrialization, are leading to. Alright, that is why it is important. It is a very important concept. Your social cost, external cost, these are very important. These are new emerging concepts. That is why they are important.